mother-in-law's problem and you told that, she is going to die and all that. Then my heart started beating. God, did she really die? Or other option, is still alive, now this lady will kill me. You told she did not die, now I'll kill you. So I was frightened, I don't know what is going to happen. And then she said, Swamiji, I want to tell you, what is that? I realize my mother-in-law is not bad. I thought she is bad. She is not bad. And then she told one or two instances. That is her habit, her nature. For anything, when you talk to her, she has to say opposite. You say tomato, she will say potato. Default settings. You must have seen many ladies particularly. You tell them something, they will exactly do the opposite. This is my experience. I said, I don't want a subject. No, you take more. And therefore, when I stopped reacting with her, her reactions also stopped. And one day, you know what happened? She herself told that let your son come and study here. How can he sit near the kitchen and study? Let him study here. She herself invited the grandson to study in her room. Now what is the basis? Because this daughter-in-law stopped reacting. Therefore, she never became aggressive. See, many people are like the jackfruit. What is jackfruit, Thorns outside, but very sweet inside. Some of them are like coconut, hard outside, but water inside. So we have to deal with these people. And we can deal only if we have that bhavana. Bhavana is ability to understand somebody and not misunderstand anybody. See? And if we understand somebody, then alone we can deal with that body. See? Some people understand the language of, shouting. Some people understand the language of love. Some people understand the language of dictation. See? Accordingly, we will be able to manage and we will remain at peace. So, nasti buddhihi ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana. And nacha bhavayata shantihi. He who is thus not able to understand properly and deal properly with the people, how can that person be at peace? And ashantasya kutas sukham. Can somebody say, I am so disturbed today that I am very happy? You cannot. See, friends, therefore, when we are talking karma or karma yoga, we function outside and create a beautiful mind. See, as we grow in age, the elders and grown-ups must have more understanding than the youngsters. And when it is possible, if the elders have grown and while growing, they have learned from every experience of their life, then only they grow wise. See, friends. So these are two standpoints now. From the standpoint of elders, that they must have the magnanimity to forgive and accept the youngsters as they are, teach them, guide them. And from the standpoint of the youngsters, old people cannot be changed. What we can do with the old people? Only pray to the Lord. Oh Lord, You can't change them. It's a gone case. See? And in this manner, interact, that is karma yoga, in such a manner then your mind is at peace. See? And for this, one or two thumb rules. One of my thumb rule is, write off your rights. We have no right on anybody in this world. No right. The moment you start asserting your right, guarantee is you are going to be frustrated. See? And when we are frustrated, we do two things. Either we go in depression or we go to the temple. And after going to the temple, then Bhagwan also, same complaint. That's why those people who do a long namaskar, not quickly, not like that, they'll be doing a long namaskar. My list is very long. And after they get up, अरे एक तो भूल ही गया फिर एक How many things are we going to ask from that poor God? See? So, Karma Yoga therefore doesn't mean anything else except you work outside and let your mind be beautified more and more. See, there is one Subhashita in Sanskrit literature. Grishtam grishtam punarapi punaha chandanam charugandham. When the chandana, the sandalwood, when you rub it more and more, it gives more and more fragrance. See? Chinnam chinnam punarapi punaha swadu chaivekshudandam. When you start cutting the ikshudanda, that is ganna, the sugar cane, as you go lower towards the root, it becomes more and more sweet. See? In the same manner, the more the difficulties, problems come in our life, we accept them as challenge and grow. In the long run, you will come to know every bad event in our life was a necessity for bringing out the hidden beauty that we are. See? Once a sculptor went to a mountain and there were many boulders lying here and there. Like you get in Andhra, Hyderabad, in the Jubilee Hill area. There are many long, big boulders here and there. Karnataka also plenty places. One sculptor went, he was searching here and there and finally he selected one boulder. And then made his own calculations. And then started his treatment. Chisel and hammer, chisel and hammer. And when this was happening, this boulder was complaining to the Lord, "Oh Lord, what sin I have done in the last life. See, other boulders are so happily sitting, nobody bothers, and this Rakshasa has come, and every day he is hitting me with chisel and hammer. Oh God, oh God." God doesn't have ears, so he doesn't listen. Don't cry. So he didn't listen. And when it was going on every day, this boulder was crying. All unwanted stone, when it was removed, a beautiful, wonderful idol of Bhagwan Krishna came out. And then it was taken and installed in the temple. And when millions of people will come and prostrate and offer prayers, etc., that time the stone, which is now the Lord, started thanking that sculptor. "Oh dear sculptor, you brought out the best in me, and other stones are still lying there unclaimed." If you see the life of any great master, everybody has gone through this chisel and hammer treatment. What we see is the finished product. But before they come to that point, what they have gone through, we can never understand. And therefore, friends, take a positive way of life in which we are taking care of our mind. We have no freedom to destroy our mind. Take care of the mind. So this is with reference to interaction with the world, how we take care of mind, how do we mind our mind. Now the second way is the path of yoga. In Yoga Shastra, it is said, Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga means when the thought process is arrested, it is called as the yoga. And for that, Patanjali Maharshi gives a technique. The technique is Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam Tannirodha. By the practice, Abhyasa and Vairagya dispassion, we can control the mind. And then our whole meditation is a struggle. Control the mind, control the mind. See? Instead of going into this, take the definition of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Don't take Patanjali's definition. All those who try to control the mind and no thoughts, they are silently suffering. Collectively, keeping the lights off so that nobody knows what is going on. And when the meditation session is over, lights are on, everybody is awakened from the sleep. It was so fresh. Naturally, after sleep, everybody will feel fresh. That is not meditation, that is not yoga. What is yoga? Hang on to my Kanhaiyalal, K.K. Nair. What is the yoga? Yoga is refusal to be miserable when the miseries come in our life. See? When dukkha sanyoga, viyogam, when the miseries come, dukkha sanyoga, viyogam, you refuse to be miserable. But how to practice this? Sa nischayena yoktavyaha. Take a firm resolution that under any condition, I refuse to be miserable. You are practicing yoga. Twisting the body is not yoga. Straightening the mind is the yoga. But normally for us, yoga means go on twisting the body. And then here there is a spondylosis, here there is a hip joint gone, there is a thing. Swami ji, मेरी कमर बहुत दुखती है, क्या करूँ? I said, Mama, why you are telling lies? No, Swami ji, why will I tell you lies? Really, मेरी कमर बहुत दुखती है. कमर है कहाँ? कमरा है. See, friends, that is not yoga. Only one simple resolution. From this moment onward, I refuse to be miserable. Those who are miserable, they are very strong ego. Stronger the ego, more miserable we are. Lesser the ego, less miserable we are. God has no ego, Paramananda. So what is the way to be happy in life? By being happy. There is no other way. And for this, few techniques. We should never justify that under these conditions, anybody will be miserable. And that anybody is me. And therefore I am miserable. No. See, from this no, I remember one of the Maha Mantra, you try this. The ability to say no and the ability to listen to no alone will keep your mind cool, both ways. See? Like, when I go to take food in people's place, so they will not listen to your no. Then I should not become frustrated. So I develop a new technique. The new technique is, when they give something and I can't eat, I said, no, acha nahi bana, I don't like it. Then you see the face of that lady. Mera time pass ho gaya. See? Therefore, the ability, refuse means refuse. And once you take this stand, that I refuse to be miserable, then nobody can make you miserable in life. And why we become miserable, When somebody calls us fool, and we accept it, and therefore we become miserable. If somebody calls us fool, किसको कहा? Don't accept. When we call you Mahatma, that you don't like. When we call you fool, that you don't like. See, it is our own acceptance. When somebody calls you fool, you become angry because your anger is, how come you recognize me? Therefore, refuse to be miserable. And for that, one technique. Technique is very simple. All the time, keep on humming something or the other. I won't tell you, chant the Lord's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. No, chant anything. Lord's name, filmy song, anything. And you will see, your mind will remain occupied. Free mind is a devil's workshop. Keep the mind occupied. So when you are walking, play. This is what I do. Many times when I go by car long distances, and suppose there are some unwanted passengers, so they keep on blah, 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 non-stop talking. So that's why my phone has got all the music. Then, and it has got also the amplifier, or I put it to the car. And when I see that these ammas cannot stop, then I start the music. पुराने फिल्मों का संगीत, loud voice, sound, huge one, And when he starts, Swamiji, can you reduce the volume? No. See? In the same manner, when the mind is making noise inside, I don't know why you don't know, he said that, I don't know, I don't know. No! Refuse. Never have self-pity. Those who have self-pity, they are very strong personalities. Never justify that. See? Then we are practicing yoga. And when we thus practice, Bhagavan in the 6th chapter, that thing which Bhagavan Krishna tells about yoga, normally people bypass that thought. For them, yoga is what? That you sit properly in a particular asana. And there also there is a problem. In one place, one person met me on the railway station somewhere. Swamiji, do you remember you have come to this particular town? I said, yes, I remember. And I spoke on 6th chapter of Gita. Yes, you have got good memory. I said, then, now my problem is, after I heard you, I have stopped doing meditation. Very good. But do you know why? Because you told asana should be grass, then animal skin, and then a towel. I could get the grass and the towel. Animal skin I am not getting, therefore I have stopped doing meditation. See? We have got meditation means only the non-essentials. You will see this Angrez who come in the yoga, like the terrorists have a gun, they have got their yoga mattress. Wherever they go, they will do. See? These are all non-essentials. Essential of yoga, Bhagavan Krishna says, Prashantamanasam henam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shantarajasam brahma bhutam akalmasham. Prashantamanasam yoginam. When your mind is prashanta, what is prashanta? We know shanti, we know ashanti. But there is third degree called as prashanti. Ashanti, no discussion is required. Shanti is opposite of Ashanti. Prashanti is that which cannot be improved upon because of Shanti and which cannot be contaminated because of Ashanti. That is Prashanta Manasam. See? Those who are too much accustomed to quietness, little bit of disturbances here and there, they become extremely agitated and disturbed. And those who are accustomed to stay near the railway line in Bombay, they cannot tolerate Shanti. One big man from L&T, he came to meet me in Lonavala, and I keep all my windows door closed, and I was doing my work. So inside there is no sound, because both sides, this side there is that national highway, and this side there is express highway. So whole day and night, the vehicles and truck, So I close all the windows and sit inside. Quiet. He came to meet me. Swamiji, I said, please sit for 5 minutes, I am doing some work. And I forget what I am doing afterwards. Therefore, stop, just keep quiet, let me finish this job. And I took my time, 5-7 minutes, I completed. And 7 minutes he has to sit quiet. I said, yes, what next? Swamiji, it's a frightening silence. It was such a surprise for me. Silence is also frightening. See, Prashanta Manasam, the one who remains undisturbed under any condition. You know, in Bhaidas Hall, Bombay, Vile Parle or somewhere, Juhu, there was a lecture series of some other Mahatma. And he is known for his strictness. If somebody is late by 1 second, he will become furious. If somebody walks out in between, he will shout at that man. Very, very angry, you know. And after his lectures were over, next session was mine, 7 days. My introduction, that man did. Now our Swamiji has come, relax. So I asked him, what kind of introduction is there? You are not glorifying me? He says, Swamiji, when you are here, everybody is relaxed. Now what is the reason? Be attentive. I am in front of you. If I get disturbed, you will automatically get disturbed. If I don't get disturbed, you can never get disturbed. In the same manner, if we get disturbed because of somebody, that somebody will also get disturbed. So remain cool. Prashanta Manasam Yenam. Such a person who is at peace with himself, he alone is qualified on the spiritual path. See? Otherwise, normally what happens, you know, that a miserable person is following God. No, miserable person is following misery, not God. Can you imagine a person sitting for meditation who is miserable because of the tooth, root canal? Somebody has got 2-3 root canals. Once I had in Delhi, there were 2 root canals on one side only. So I told, other than the lectures, I will not talk. So don't come and don't meet me. So one person gave a sleep. Swamiji, with the root canal, how do you talk? So I kept it down. I didn't say anything. Then my lecture began. In the lecture I said, I talk in a sentimental mode. Not sentimental, sentimental. If somebody has got a root canal and with that root canal, this person sits for meditation. First of all, he does this pranayam, and when he presses his nose and the hand goes to, and with this mudra, he sits for meditation. Oh. can he ever do meditation? A miserable person can never think of God. Those who think of God, they can never be miserable. Because God is happiness. Don't get that dumb definition. God is love. What is love? Love is God. What are both? Confused. That is not love. Therefore, if you are cheerful and happy, prasanna chetaso yashu buddhi paryavatishtate. Gita says, the one who is prasanna chetas, ever cheerful, he alone can think of God. A miserable person will make God as a means and misery as the end, not the other way around. See, therefore, the teacher tells here that we have to remain alert, that under no condition we remain disturbed. Such a person who practices this Prashanta Manasam, then Yunjannevam Sadatmanam Yogi Vigata Kalmashaha Sukhena Brahma Sansparsham Atyantam Sukhamashnute Evam Sada Atmanam Yunjita. Now please remember, don't seek for a shortcut on the spiritual path. If you seek for a shortcut, you will be cut short. There is no shortcut. We have to go through all the experiences, and they are necessarily required for us. See? Otherwise, we will miss the opportunity. And if you have really taken your life in the light of this wisdom, you will keep your attention on the quality of the mind. And thus, when your mind is at peace, in that peaceful mind, whatever experience is there, that experience is called as God. In in Vishnu Mahapuran probably, the pure heart, pure mind is called as Vasudeva. The definition is given, I won't go into technicalities. Vasudeva means Shuddha Antakaran, pure heart, pure mind. In that pure mind, whatever manifests is called as Vasudeva. Bhagavan Krishna's one of the name is Vasudeva. Vasudeva's putra is Vasudeva. So that which manifests in a pure, undisturbed, cool mind, that is Bhagavan Krishna. And if we don't maintain this level all the time, the Lord cannot express through us. See, friends, and therefore, Yunjannevam Sadatmanam, this has to be practiced in and through all the time. See? Then what happens? Vigata Kalmashaha. Then our old habits start dying. What is our present habit? Our present habit is comment on everything, reaction on everything, frustration on everything, depression on everything. This is our present habit. Now this habit we have to drop. See? And when we thus practice that we have to live in this world, running away, where will you go? Because wherever you go, there is your mind and you. Can you run away from your mind? You cannot. Therefore, the only way is take care of the mind by this technique. And in this manner, when our mind starts remaining cool, quiet, then you will come to know worldly problems are most insignificant. One technique I'll tell you. Try this. You know, in our Ahmedabad, from here, Matar is there. That is my most favorite place. I go there. On every second and fourth Sunday, they have got a very big medical camp. We are living in our cocoon. We never want to break the barrier of limitations. Get out and go anywhere and serve. And when you start serving somebody, then you come to know that what we have today is much more than what anybody has in this world. And yet, we are so ungrateful to the Lord. See, friends, so when you see a more miserable person, then you will see that you are pretty happy. And therefore, we live in this world in such a manner, never justify our miseries, stop reacting, start understanding. And with this, when we start, then what happens? That sukhena brahma sansparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. Atyantam sukha means what? Such a person is at home, in every place, in every situation, with everyone. Like we are at home with our own body. Suppose I have to scratch my, face. Excuse me, there is a scratching. Shall I go and touch it? No. Okay. No. Any part of my body, am I not at home? Do we hesitate? Then hesitation disappears. Because, no, there is no barrier. I versus you. See, friends. And with this understanding, when we start living, then we are really practicing yoga. And such a person, sarva bhutastamatmanam sarva bhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. Then his vision changes. When the vision changes, our miseries start disappearing. You know what is the vision? See, this girl who is in Bombay, she came, very young, very sweet girl, love marriage, and the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law on war. So the daughter-in-law and the son were staying separately and they were staying separately. And both of them very close to me. So one day the daughter-in-law said, Swamiji, what shall I do to please my mother-in-law? I said, you have to simply understand her. That's all. What should I understand? I said, till you got married, all the love of that your Dumbo husband was going to his mother. And he is a poor fellow. Only 1 kilo of love. Now that after you went in that house, got married, now that boy is attracted to you. So the love distribution is 90% to you and left over to mother. And two ladies can never love each other. They can only be jealous of each other. This is manufacturer's defect. See, don't have to blame anybody. It is like that. As much a woman is an enemy of a woman, that much man is not the enemy of the woman. Therefore, don't become serious about her, try to understand her. And what she requires, I tell you, only one thing. In her whole life, she never had any friends. She never had any recognition. And her great creation is your Dumbo husband. That is the only creation she had. And that creation also you have taken away. Naturally she is frustrated. Therefore, you take her in confidence and all the time go on praising, Mama, you teach me this. Mama, you are so nice, you are so methodical. How can I become like you? Chadha upar, how does it matter? After she chadha upar, one day she will fall down and then fracture and then you relax. See? Therefore, when you understand this, that that lady who has been holding on her son up to the age of 26, 27, suddenly somebody comes and takes away her only possession. Anybody will become frustrated, and her frustration is called as mother-in-law. See? Therefore, try to understand her rather than condemn her. And this continued for 2 years. The other day, both of them came to my house. And hand in hand, I took my phone, I said, stand there. I took the picture. Why? I said, asambhav sambhav ho gaya. I said, something wrong with you? How come you are together and all that? Again, both of them looked at each other and again hugged each other. I said, now one thing remember, don't dig your past. Now start living in this atmosphere. Don't tell me what has happened. And I knew what happened. I told that mother-in-law, I will never talk to you in my life if you do not take care of that child. She has come from somebody else's home to your house. She deserves more respect. She is small. You are an elderly lady. And if you don't behave properly with her, who will behave? And I know you will not listen to me, but I tell you frankly, I will stop talking to you from now onwards. 2 years she suffered. I didn't talk to her. She will come to do namaskar, looking. Swamiji, I want to bring food. No, somebody else is bringing. I refuse to take water, food, talking to her.